morning, investors and company. Welcome to Set Digital Roadshow, third quarter of 2021 performance review. The session will run about 45 minutes, including Q&A, starting by 30 minutes presentation from the company, and the last 15 minutes we reserve it for Q&A. During the Q&A, investor may leave the questions in the meeting room chat box or use the raise hand function, and we will request a microphone so you can ask a question to the company directly. So may I now invite JWD INFOLOGISTICS Public Company Limited to start the presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It is our pleasure to meet with you guys again. So this is an opportunity for us, JWD INFOLOGISTICS, to present to you the progress and our performance update for the third quarter of this year. Because this year has been quite a good year for us in terms of the logistic industry in Thailand. We've been growing quite significantly in terms of revenue as well as the net profit. Let me bring up the slide for you so that we can go through together. Okay, so as for the performance for the third quarter of this year, we have been quite successfully growing our business in terms of the revenue. We have been growing almost 40% year on year from various business, especially the transportation, which we have been acquiring a VNS transport company earlier this year, and that has been contribute to a significant growth in terms of revenue to this business unit, as well as the logistic infrastructure, another business that has been growing quite fast, starting from last year until this year. The growth has been quite significant, almost 35% year on year comparing to last year. Cold chain, also another business that has been quite successful and has been receiving a lot of demands since the beginning of the COVID situation until this year. We have been receiving a lot more additional demand in terms of the cold storage supply chain logistics service, and it has been bringing us a lot of profitability throughout the year, and we expect that to continue at least till the end of this year, and also continue next year with another more project that we have been laying down like right now, and we'll update to you soon. We also have quite an outstanding performance for many business units that has been suffering from the COVID impact last year. For example, the dangerous goods terminals, as well as the automotive business that was hitting by some kind of supply chain disruption last year. This year, both of these businesses has been returned and recover quite fast, and actually it is a good news for us that dangerous goods terminal has actually been achieving a new high in terms of revenue and throughput in first and second quarter, and also in this third quarter is also another time achieving a new high in terms of revenue again. Also, the automotive business has been growing quite fast comparing to last year at the low base, but this year it has been bringing in a lot of profitability to the company, even though in the third quarter there has been a certain situation in terms of the shortage of the semiconductor parts using in the manufacturing industry of the automotive. Good news is in the Q4, this shortage has seen to be recovering, and we expect that in Q4 the automotive business unit will perform again. Therefore, in the overall, I think all the business unit of JWD has been growing quite good in this year and perform very well. We also carry out a lot of projects throughout the year, especially in Q3. There has been development in terms of warehousing operation, as well as the investment and acquisition, and we also carry on some of the ongoing projects, which I will update you in the segment that will follow. In Q3 itself, we have achieved 1.39 million baht, 1.39 billion baht of revenue. From there, around 72% came from the logistic and supply chain, and around 25% came from food business, and around 2.5% came from other business. Where from the logistic and supply chain itself, the 72.3% consists of 6 categories of services that we have. The main one being the warehouse and yard management, where we have many modes of service that giving to customer, including general goods, dangerous goods, automotive, cold chain, document storage, that contribute around 44% of total revenue. The transportation and distribution business unit also growing very fast this year and now has been contributing more than 17% to our total revenue now. We also have other business units like relocation, which contribute around 5%, overseas business around 3%, self-storage around 1%, and logistic infrastructure, which is contributing around 2.3%. Okay. For the food service and other business unit are contributing 25% and around 2.5% respectively, as shown on this screen. This slide has been we has been using this slide for quite some time now. So we would like to emphasize on this strength in diversity of JWD Group because we have been giving service to customer across the value chain as well as across many customer segments covering both B2B, B2C, and C2C. And also we have customer across many industry, including consumer goods, dangerous goods and chemicals, automotive, food and cold chain. And we also expanding our landscape to covering other industry segments such as pharmaceutical, which we are starting to penetrate this market right now. So this kind of diversification has been giving us sustainability in terms of growth and profitability throughout various situations, especially during COVID pandemic, where we still can maintain our growth in terms of revenue and profitability, especially this year, where we expect to go beyond our initial budget target of 5 billion baht of revenue. And also the profitability has been growing quite fast compared to last year, which I will show you in the financial section that will follows. In terms of the overall economic situation in Thailand, it seems that this year we still have been hit hard by the pandemic situation, and the recovery from the last year seems not to be so fast. Nevertheless, in the logistic industry itself, there are still a lot of demands, and we're still experiencing a lot of the growth in terms of the customer inquiry as well as the revenue that we receive from the customer. So we have made a projection in terms of the performance outlook. This is a top line projection for the quarterly outlook. It has been according to what we planned since early this year, and we still believe that in Q4 we will be able to also achieve another growth in terms of revenue again, and that will make us the whole year of 2021 to be significantly growth from last year, which we are quite confident that we will beat the target of 5 billion baht of revenue this year. And following next year onward, we still expect to maintain our momentum of growth due to higher demand in logistics and the new normal situation that we have been receiving a lot of additional inquiry from customer and the new project that we has been invested and lay out throughout this year. Speaking about the strategic direction, after we listed the company, this is the 6th year after listing. We have laid the 5-year plan since we listed in 2015, 2020, and right now we have the next phase of our business roadmap in the 5 year from 2021 to 2025, and we plan that by year 2025 we should be able to reach the revenue size of around 10 billion baht, and the net profit we plan to boost up the net profit margin from now, which is roughly around 10%, to grow up to around 15% of net profit margin. That is what we plan through 5 main strategy. 3 of them came from the existing business and 2 of them from new S-curve, where throughout this year 2021 we have been executing a lot of plans in all of these 5 strategies already. The first one of the strategy is the acquire and scale up, where we plan to make a number of acquisitions in series, and we'll scale up a number of business, especially the transportation that we have been making a number of acquisitions throughout this year. We also plan to build more of our infrastructure, especially cold storage warehouse, and scale up our infrastructure network both in Thailand and in overseas. And we also plan to do regional expansion, especially in our neighboring country, where we have good partners as well as our own operation, such as Vietnam, Cambodia, and Indonesia. Apart from the existing business, we also look into tackling into the new S-curve, a new market, especially the B2C segment, where we have penetrating through many business front. For example, we have been expanding our self-storage business unit quite rigorously during the past 3-4 years. And right now, it can be said that we are the one with the largest number of branches and service area in Thailand right now. And we have quite strong determination in expanding this business as well as to synergize it with our other business service in terms of logistics solution to make sure that we are the leader in the self-storage service for B2C segment in Thailand. We also looking into the e-commerce business related logistics such as the last mile delivery, where we have been partnering with some of the key partners to tackle the cold chain express delivery service, which I will mention about this in more detail afterward. We are also working with our partner to tackling the fulfillment service to give solution to the SME and the merchant for the e-commerce online business as well. That has been quite significant development during the past 2 or 3 quarters in this year, where we have been developing a lot to penetrate into the B2C segment. We are also looking into entering into some new sectors, such as a property solution, where we have joint venture with our partner that is Origin Property since early this year, and we have been starting to build more warehouses throughout the year, and we plan to grow more with them, and probably in the future to list the company, or will arrange the setup of the REIT structure for the property that we develop together with them. So the detail of these 5 strategies can be found on our website. We also arrange the podcast and many materials regarding the information of our plan in developing these 5 strategies and to pursue our growth of revenue to the 10 billion baht target in year 2025. I think we will try to develop and update you guys regarding the development in each of these strategy in each quarter. Please keep in touch with us, and we will try to make sure that you are up to date with all the development that we have. As for Q3, we also have quite a number of project updates to give to you because we have been developed in many different fronts. So we try to categorize them into 3 groups of project updates. That is the warehousing operation, and also investment and acquisition update, and also some of the ongoing project that is currently carried out and will be continuing in Q4 and also next year. About the warehousing operation, there are many new warehouses that we have been opened up since the beginning of this year. We have opened up warehouse building number 9 in Mahachai Cold Storage Complex. We have opened up the robotics data document storage warehouse in Suwintwong, which we did not include in the slide now because it has been updated for like 2 or 3 quarters in consecutive already. So what we put here is a newer warehousing that has been just commencing operation or just starting the build, the construction. One of the interesting warehouses we have right now is the order fulfillment center in Samwa, where we have been starting construction for some time now. The construction has been completed and the operation has already been started in October 2021. This will be another new business that will help us to grow and also to catch up with the growth of the e-commerce logistic demand that is growing very fast right now in Thailand. We also building right now the cold storage warehouse in Mahachai together with our customer in a joint venture called Pack M Cold Storage. We expect to complete this project by Q1, end of Q1 next year. Right now, the progress of the construction is around 44%. And this facility is quite special in terms of it is a co-investment with our customer. It means that when the construction completed, then operation started, we expect to fill in with our customer cargoes and inventory very fast, and we expect that we could go up to 70% of occupancy or utilization within 1 year of operation. Apart from that, we also plan to expand more of our cold storage warehouse. Right now, we already start a construction of a new cold storage warehouse in Saraburi province, which is a new location that we didn't have before. We have the main location of cold storage in Mahachai, Suwintawong, and Bang Na. Right now, we expanded our footprint to Saraburi, which is another key location surrounded by many major customers. And we expect to complete this construction around October next year, where the project progress is around 8 to 10% right now. We have just started a few months ago. And we also plan to roll out the expansion of the cold storage warehouse footprint around Thailand, including Khon Kaen, Songkhla, Chiang Mai, Phitsanulok, and Phuket provinces in years to come. That will follow our second strategy of the 5 years plan that I mentioned earlier. We also expanding in the B2C front, and we are now one of the leading operator of the self-storage service in Thailand with 6 branches of operation in Sikirtha, Siem Reap, Rama 9, Siam, Raminta, as well as in Phuket. Right now, we are expanding to the 7th branch in Lat Phrao, where we have already secured the land location as well as the construction will be starting in December, where we expect the fit out and everything will be complete around end of Q1 next year. And that will be the 7 branches of the JWD self-storage, and will be another flagship store that we plan to launch and make sure that we will be continue to be the leading operator in terms of self-storage in Thailand. Apart from the investment in terms of the warehousing operation and all those things, we also do a lot of acquisition this year. Earlier this year, we have acquired BNS Transport 100% as a subsidiary of JWD Transport, and that has been resulting in a significant growth in terms of revenue, as you may see in our financial result in Q2 as well as Q3, and also for Q4 and for next year. We expect to have more growth from the revenue contribution from both JWD Transport itself and from our acquired company, BNS Transport. Apart from that, we also make another major acquisition in terms of the terminal operation in Laem Chabang called ESCO, Eastern Sea Laem Chabang Terminal, which is actually owned by Port Singapore Authority. We are good partner with PSA, and after a long negotiation with them, we are arriving at terms, and we have been signing the term sheet with them since last quarter. And the good news is right now the closing is complete, and we have already holding 15% share of ESCO operation, which includes B3 terminal in Laem Chabang, as well as B1 and A0 terminal in Laem Chabang as well. In total of these 3 terminals, it comprise of the total throughput of around 2 million tube a year, which is quite significant in terms of the total container throughput of Laem Chabang itself, which is around 7 to 8 million tube a year last year. So we expect that with this acquisition, it will contribute to us the equity income significantly starting from November this year and December, and the whole year next year will be a major jump in terms of the equity income and profitability from ESCO. Apart from that, we also have many plans to work with them in terms of the synergy of business between the terminal operation that they have and our terminal operation in the barge terminal that we have been awarded since last year from the Port Authority to operate the barge terminal, and also the transportation and movement of the containers that had been working together with ESCO will help us to grow much more in terms of business synergy and operation, as well as the revenue that we can build together with them. Another acquisition that has been completed already is the acquisition of one of our good partner and a startup company called MyCloud Fulfillment. They are one of the leading fulfillment service provider in Thailand, and we have been building the Samwa fulfillment warehouse for them, and the operation has started in October. Right now, we also completing our acquisition of Series B's capital raise from MyCloud fulfillment, and right now JWD holds approximately 20% of MyCloud, and we work together with them in various fronts to tackle the e-commerce business growth and logistic requirement in Thailand. And we also look for plans to develop with them with the system that they have into the overseas, especially in Vietnam market, which has been growing very fast in terms of the e-commerce demand. MyCloud itself is one of the leading operator in terms of fulfillment, with a lot of the competency in terms of their IT solution software, connectivity with a lot of marketplace. We would say that they have connection with all the major marketplace in Thailand, Lazada, Shopee, as well as the Facebook and all social commerce and all the order management system that connected with them. They also have the inventory management, inbound pick, pack, and shipping solutions, which combining with the facility that JWD have as well as the fleet that we have on hand will enhance their service as well as our service to tackle into the e-commerce market this year and next year onward. Apart from the B2C MyCloud, we also moving into another segment together with Origin Property. We organized a new entity, a joint venture called Alpha Industrial Solution early this year, and we plan to build warehouse throughout Thailand in terms of build to suit and ready-built warehouse. Some of those warehouse may be utilized by JWD itself to expand our operation networks. Some of those may be used directly by the customer as a build to suit, following many successful business model that has been in the market right now. Right now, we are building our first warehouse in Bang Na, kilometer 22, which 20,000 square meter of service area. The construction is right now around 36% in progress, and we expect to complete around end of Q2 next year. We also secure 2 more land location in Bang Na and in Rangsit right now, and we plan to expand more in terms of warehousing in the next 5 years. Alpha Industrial Solution expect to have the service area of around 1 million square meter, and we expect to have the REIT value of the all asset that we will build in the next 5 years up to 12 billion baht. And we might plan to organize the restructure ourselves or maybe list the company into the stock exchange. That is what we plan together with Origin Property, and this will be a vehicle to help JWD to grow in terms of our operation network throughout Thailand as well as overseas without investing too much of our own cash. Another interesting project that has been ongoing and many people has been focusing on this is the tackling into the express delivery market segment. JWD has been trying to penetrate into the e-commerce express delivery, but with our own expertise, that is the cold chain specific express delivery. We have been penetrating this market for around 2 years, and we see that the market is growing right now, especially with the pandemic. There are a lot of needs in terms of temperature control, express delivery. So we are joining hand with our good partners, that is Thailand Post and Flash Express, 2 big players in the last mile delivery in Thailand. And we, as the cold chain operator who have expertise in cold chain management, are joining hand with them to utilize all our resource, the hub and spoke, the fleet, and the cold chain facility to launch the new service called Cold Chain Express Delivery in nationwide. Under the brand called Fuse Coast, we have been promoting this brand for a few months now, and the full launch will be happening around Q1 next year. We believe so that with the growth of the e-commerce and the demand of the new normal after the pandemic, the temperature control product express delivery will be one of the very fast growing market segment, where some other players are also trying to jump into this market segment as well. But there are a lot of barriers to entry in this market because it is temperature control require really special treatment and expertise in terms of the warehouse, the facility, and also the trucking itself. So We think that this will be a lot better business in terms of the express last mile comparing to the consumer goods and all those courier service where there's a lot of price war right now there and the profitability is going down in terms of the mass because of the pricing situation. But for the cold storage, cold chain express itself, we believe that there are a lot of room for us to grow and still maintain quite good amount of profitability margin. We are also penetrating right now into a new segment where we are trying to utilize our specialization in cold chain supply chain management. We are tackling into the pharmaceutical market at the moment, and we have set up a new company called JWD Health Connects to penetrating into this market. Just last month that we fully organized this new entity, and we look to fully work with them in terms of the penetrating into the healthcare marketplace, both the hospital, supplier, vendors, and all the marketplace that require the healthcare product delivery in terms of the temperature control and all the logistics solution for hospital. So next year will be the year that we expect that this business will start to building up more revenue after we have building the base throughout the end of this year around November and December. And apart from all those development in terms of business growth itself, we are quite proud to present to you that this year JWD has been receiving a number of awards, both the Excellent Logistics Award and Prime Minister Award that we have won for many consecutive years. This year is very special, where we have also received the SET Award for 2021. We have been selected for the fourth year in a row into the Thailand Sustainability Investment Index, and we also received the Best Investor Relation Awards as well as the Rising Star Sustainability Awards, which is our we are quite proud of this achievement, and we are very determined to make sure that we will still develop and maintain our quality in terms of the corporate governance and all the investor relation and all those activities that make sure that we are not just growing our revenue, not just growing our revenue and business, but also will grow in terms of the sustainability and investor relation in terms of those things as well. Before Q&A session, let me go through a bit with the financials where we have achieved around 1.39 billion baht revenue, and year to date 9 months we already achieved 3.8 billion baht comparing to 3.9 billion baht for the whole last year, which means that we are quite confident that this year we will grow significantly from last year in terms of revenue and also profitability. In terms of the profitability itself, we also grow quite significantly this year, where we have the net core profit of 395.4 million baht already for the 9 year this year. Comparing to last year, whole year, we have around 290 million baht of profit. So the number looks very well this year, and we are looking very positively into the development in Q4 and to make sure that we will grow significantly in this year. Let me go through some of the most important business unit to recap you about what happening during Q3. The general goods warehouse has been receiving a lot of demand. The occupancy rate now reaching 95%, very high indeed. The revenue also growing despite the fact that the gross profit margin has been dropping because we have not enough resource to serve our rising demand. So we need to outsource some of the warehousing space and labor from the third party to support our customer. That is the reason why the GP has been dropping, but it will be constantly, gradually growing back to the normal level in time. Dangerous goods terminal also another well-performed business unit where we achieve a new high in terms of revenue in Q3 again, and the gross profit margin has been achieving more than 47% of gross profit margin, which is significantly higher than the average last year where we have around 40% of gross profit margin. Automotive is also recovering quite significantly from last year. The gross profit margin is around 35% right now. Even though the revenue seems to drop a bit in Q3 due to the shortage of the semiconductor parts, but we believe that with the recovering of the part situation right now, Q4, it will be recover and should be well performing again. And throughout this year, automotive business unit has been very well performed and building a lot of profitability to us. The cold storage itself also growing very fast. It has been achieving very high occupancy rate as well as gross profit margin almost reached 50% right now. We believe the next year we'll be able to achieve more than 50% of gross profit margin with increasing occupancy rate and utilization. Transportation itself also growing significantly after the acquisition of VNS Transport. And also with the acquisition of ESCO stakes in November, we will also recognize a lot of more equity income from them. So we foreseen very positively with this business throughout this year as well. And next year, actually, we have a plan to spin off this transportation business and list the company into the stock exchange soon, so that we will have another driver in terms of the growth and funding support in terms of the plan, our 5-year growth, to make sure that our funding is adequate and everything is balanced in terms of our growth. Let me trying to go into a more important business that I would like to emphasize now. Vietnam has been growing very fast. This year, they have been contributing a lot of profitability to us. Transimex Corporation has been growing very fast, especially in Q3. It has been contributing our equity income of more than 46.7 million baht, comparing to what we have in Q1 and Q2. That is a significant growth. And we believe that our cooperation with them will help them grow even more and synergy with us in terms of the interconnectivity of logistics between Thailand and Vietnam. On the other hand, Cambodia has been suffering quite bad during early this year. In Q3, it started to recover from the COVID situation, and we expect that they will gradually recover in Q4 and also next year on. In summary, we have achieved 139.1 million baht of profit in Q3, our new high in terms of profitability from the core operation. This is a significant growth in terms of our profitability, and the year-to-date 9 months we have already achieved 395.4 million baht, comparing to whole year last year where we achieved 290 million baht. So this year our profitability growth will be quite significant, even though in Q4 we cannot say the number much right now, but we think that we should be able to maintain consistent performance improvement, as you may see the result from the Q1 to Q3 this year already. In terms of financial position and the ratio, key financial ratios still remain quite similar to what we have in the last quarter, and we have closed the Q3 with around 1 billion baht of reserve cash, which is quite significant. Actually, we prepared this around 7 million baht was prepared for the closing of the MyCloud fulfillment and ESCO acquisition deals, which have already been done right now. So right now we have around 300 million baht in cash reserve, which suffice for our operation and growth plan that we have throughout the year. So this is the summarize of the presentation